And good morning, YouTube. It's actually nighttime. It's still Thursday, May 25th, 2023, 9:28 p.m. And as I tried to explain in my last two videos, both of which just cut right off and were borderline useless, I fully intend to upload them because that's just kind of how I roll with this vlog. I just give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's very little I don't share, and it's got to be a pretty good reason for me not to, and that video cut off or came out like shit is just doesn't reach to that level. Generally speaking, if I'm not uploading something, it's trying to protect the privacy of somebody that got caught in the crossfire of my camera, or I realize I said something that was just a bit too much, and it's got to be a lot too much for me to not put it on this YouTube channel. But anyway, both of the last two videos are going to be me celebrating just what an amazing day this was, and how much just everything seemed to be coming together, although like those things weren't coming together, as evidenced by the fact that my videos kept cutting off, which you know, in the grand scheme of things is really small, but it was just like grrr. And at that point I'm just like, fuck it, I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm going home, and now I'm awake, so I can explain all those things. And I shouldn't be doing this, especially creating evidence of this, but I'm not harassing him. I have a court order, I can't harass this man, but I don't have a court order that says I can't be on this property. I don't have a court order that says I can't drive. So I gotta resist the temptation to lean out the window and call him a fat ass or an asshole or anything of that nature. I'm just rolling by. See if I can see that waste of skin security guard. I wonder if he's the one with the headlights glaring at me. I wonder. Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's him in his little Prius right there. Okay, good to know. I don't know why I was so curious about that, but it was. Okay, satisfied that curiosity. I don't think what I just did could be construed as harassment, but going over and fucking him with him anymore, I think could be. So. I was a concerned citizen. That's a suspicious looking vehicle sitting there parked inappropriately and not in a proper parking spot. Anyway, so what I was trying to say in the last two videos, which were both super short and got cut off, is, which I might combine into one video now that I have access to iMovie again, is that I finally have my my very first iPhone 6s Plus usable again, and I could go into some boring details about what I do and don't have on it, but and I probably will, because that's just, you know, how I am. But right now I need to get some basic groceries, just sandwich stuff. Like, I don't have anything that I can just slap together and eat at home right now. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't have anything yet. I think I still have a Kind bar left and a couple of birthday cake flavored Kit Kats, but is that really food? I don't know. The Kind bar is. It's just not much. But yeah, my expenditures on fast food are considerably less when I can walk into my fridge and just slap together a quick ass bologna sandwich. So as I found out when I had my existential crisis a couple of weeks ago, it's hard to believe it's been a couple of weeks. Or has it? I don't know. The days are such a blur lately. But yeah, when I had my little run-in with the dumbass in the Prius that is a weak excuse for a security guard. You know, the fucked thing is, while he's sitting there in his Prius playing with his cell phone, which I could see as I drove by him, he's playing with his cell phone, there are probably people on the other side of the building sitting there smoking fentanyl. Now, I don't know, because I didn't go that way. I, turned right and went behind the Costco to get here to Fry's. But just based on my experience, there's probably, hey, look, it's a VIP taxi. I miss driving for that. Yeah, based on that, you know, based on my experience of just walking down the street at different times, most likely that's what's going on. But apparently that's, you know, that's not part of his job description. Taking care of drug addicts, isn't doing anything about drug addicts and vagrants sleeping on the property. You know, he just has to make sure that if somebody wants to check out a scooter from the front door, that he runs up on them and verbally assaults them and then threatens them with pepper spray. Oh yeah, that court thing's going to be adventurous. Anyway, so yay, welcome back to better quality video. Obviously, it is going to be a challenge in the daytime with the AC on the Saturn being what it is. Trying to shoot video with this, and you know, again, that's by no means my biggest problem to solve, but I do need to work on this. But hey, at least now I have nighttime video that's of good enough quality that it's worth actually watching as opposed to just listening to. So that's something. Anyway, I'm going inside to get my sandwich stuff. It's good to know that now, like, I know Fry's closes at 10, because I think that's going to become kind of relevant in my in my life of like when I get food here, since yeah, my 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. shopping right after I get off work and drive here, it looks like those days are over. I don't know exactly what my new job work schedule is going to be, but I'm going to talk more about the new job, and I'm pretty sure I covered that in a video earlier today. I did get the job at the place. You know, and I figured out the name of the place, but I forgot already. Whoops. I think it's K-Power Logistics is the name of the company. But that's not the name of the building. I think the name that I mentioned on the building as I was driving out, or, you know, the signs by the building, I think that's the name of the furniture company that they have an exclusive, like, basically that whole facility is going to be distribution for that furniture company, which is somehow affiliated with Pottery Barn. I don't understand all of that stuff, and I don't need to understand all of that stuff. All I need to do is figure out how to drive a Raymond stand-up forklift, electric forklift, with extended forks. And it's not, well, both those things are challenging for me. I'll talk more about that. I talked more about that earlier, and I'll talk more about that later. But right now, I had to get my groceries. And welcome back, YouTube. It's 9:46. You know, I really wanted to get down to stop dinging, car. I really want to remove that dinger. It's just so annoying. Of course, I've been saying that for how long? Yeah, that long. Thanks, car. That's the winning answer. Anyway, as I was saying, before I got so rudely interrupted by this car's dinging, yeah, I was hoping to get to Newtown Saloon about 15 minutes ago. I did get a message on Snapchat much earlier today, and I forget what time. I'll say like mid-afternoon, late afternoon-ish. Pretty much like right after I got home, after I left. I pretty much came home straight from Tempe, you know, where I went to handle the cell phone thing. Speaking of the cell phone place in Tempe, oh shit, my headlights are off. Damn, I just became that guy. Speaking of the cell phones, well, anyway, Malika wanted to go out karaoke bar hopping tonight. I did message her back, let her know, hey, I'm awake. So I didn't really make any definitive plans with her because I was really, really tired, and I figured that it would be best if, with the new job starting tomorrow, and I got to be there at 5 a.m., which means I need to leave here at about 4 a.m. I figure I got to give myself at least an hour on that drive, at least until I get a little more used to it, know that it's less. Wow, and I probably need to get gas. Oh, snap. And Costco gas will not be open between now and then. Oh, that sucks. It's still impossible to see my gas gauge, exactly where it's at night, but it sure looks like it's pointing awfully low. Let's go to the front. Yeah, I literally have to shine a cell phone flashlight in it to see where it's at. Yeah, I would, where the gauge is right now, I would be a little hesitant to try to drive to GYR3, and the new furniture warehouse that I'm starting working at tomorrow morning is notably farther. So at some point tonight, I'm gonna have to get gas and pay more than Costco prices for it. That sucks. And I'm back. A little curious about that SUV that's just sitting there across the street from me, idling with its lights on. It rolled out at the same time I did. Coincidence? I sure hope so. 9:54 p.m. No word back from Malika, so I think I'm going to head over to Newtown Saloon. Debating what route I want to take there. I'm just gonna go on up to Thomas. Either way I go, I'm going out of the way in one way or another, compared to walking, because of the way the green belt for the old Crosscut Canal Park creates a barrier that can't be driven across. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go up to Thomas to 52nd Street to Van Buren and cut right. That way I can turn right into Newtown. I was really hoping between last week's karaoke and this week's karaoke to try to talk to Michael, the owner, about possibly hosting there. The one time I saw him, which I want to say was like 2 days ago, he came in, was messing with some kind of an outdoor swamp cooler, and just seemed like he was really busy, and then he was gone. So I don't know. Go in today and see. I'm going to go in today and see how he's sing a song or two or three. I might stick around all night for karaoke. I don't know. I'm up in the air with what I'm doing tonight. I mean, the only thing I have to keep in mind is that I do need to be at that warehouse over by Luke Air Force Base at I'm looking forward at how, and I'm reminded of how the 6S Plus used to shoot out of focus video at night. Someday I'm going to get something to shoot this vlog with that like actually shoots good at all times. But this is a definite step up from where I've been, even though it's a giant step backwards to where I was when I started this. But it's just always just trying to keep. Sometimes it's just a matter of keeping things going, even when they're less than optimal. Of course, now it's been so long since I've been using iOS. I've almost gotten to the point where I'm kind of used to. I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of used to using Android and use these substandard Androids. So it just was like, I don't remember how to do this. And then, of course, this thing having its working home button. It's been even longer since I've had that. Anyway, as I was saying, so I wanted to. I was hoping to touch base with Michael sometime during the week and talk about karaoke and what his hosting situation is and his relationship with the guy that's hosting there now, and me maybe having a chance to host there. I really do want to get another karaoke show going. At this point, it's not even about money. I think the money situation has solved itself with this new job at the furniture warehouse. Although I do need to mentally take a step back and realize, hey, I'm diagnosed severe mental illnesses, more likely than not on the spectrum, and that often causes communications problems. Somehow I just finessed my way into this job really well, and that's good. But I don't know if I was a desperation move on their part or not. I really don't know that. Like, I don't know how many other people applied or how many other people, actually showed up for interviews. I don't know. It could be put that out and just, let's keep in mind that their minimum requirement, as stated on ZipRecruiter.com, was 2 years of reach truck experience. And I came out there with 1 year of dumbed down, not exactly the same forklift experience at Amazon, where they don't even use racking because they just expect where they don't use racking. It's just, I don't even need to theorize about why. Anyway, I don't know. I could tell that I definitely, sometimes I'm better at reading body language and reading between the line with things people say than others. Sometimes it misses me completely. Other times I feel like I'm a little bit better at sensing it. And then sometimes I guess I sense things that aren't there. So who knows where I am on this one. But I felt like, and now I'm forgetting his name, not Raphael. That's the guy I had the phone interview with, the second interview, and the guy that, not the guy who let me in the door, of the guy when it was going in to see, but I couldn't call because I'd lost service on my Obama phone. That guy. That's not the guy I'm talking about. The other guy, I want to say his name is Antonio, but I might be messing that up because I'm awful with names. That guy, when I finished my test, he did seem like he was a little disappointed with my performance. Like, just the way he worded it. He's like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass you. But it was almost like, it felt like you didn't do as good as I was hoping you would do. You seem to be struggling, blah, 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 I just tried to be completely honest with the whole thing of like, hey, this is a lot more different than I thought it was going to be, and this is kind of what I'm used to. And I do think it helped that there was another guy there. I can't remember if his name was Michael or Jonathan. How do I conflate those names? I don't know. My brain ain't right. That he had, the other guy was kind of telling me, well, don't jerk it so much. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to not do that. And because I was like, my motions were super jerky. And of course, I'm going from like dead stop to just moving, and it's a little frightening, especially as close as they were standing to me. And obviously this place doesn't have the same, stringent safety rules that Amazon has regarding pedestrian pit interaction. Like, it's just an open warehouse. I'm driving all over the place. There's no designated pit area, designated pedestrian area that I can see, unless they just don't have that stuff built yet. But I got a feeling it's, yeah, I'm away from Jeff Bezos's rubber baby buggy bumpers, and I just gotta. it's not as protected as what I'm accustomed to, which is fine, so often people at Amazon lose their pit permissions just over little silly nitpicky shit that would be completely acceptable at any other warehouse. But anyway, yeah, the other guy whose name I can't remember, absolutely can't remember, Michael or Jonathan or maybe some other really, I don't know, name I'm putting in that box. He was the one who, when I mentioned what I did, he's like, oh yeah, he goes, yeah, I've operated those before, and then he was more specific about what I needed to do to stop it from jerking, other than tell me, hey, well, don't jerk. Left tonight. You think I'm doing this on purpose? I'm not doing this on purpose. This is just what it's doing, and I'm not quite sure what the trick is. What's the trick here? Help me, guys. And when I explained I was used to using a Jungheimer, and he's like, oh, yeah. And then I kind of stopped for a moment. We had a little discussion about the differences between how the joystick works on a Jungheimer and how the joystick works on a Raymond, which I explained in the video that I shot as I was leaving the warehouse. But that made a big difference. And suddenly, I think I'm saying the same things I said on that one. So my apologies if I'm being redundant. Like I said, my brain ain't right. But yeah, I definitely don't need to count my chickens before they're hatched on this job. Way too many times I've been hired and my idiosyncrasies have been a bit much for coworkers, supervisors, what have you. And I've lost jobs as quickly as I've got them. I mean, as I said before, a lot of times I just don't even get hired because of that. So it's amazing I got hired so quickly, and yeah, very much concerned that I'm going to I until I've been there for a while, no need counting it, but I mean, I'm in the door. It's a good thing. At any rate, regardless of how that works out, regardless of how my appeal at Amazon works out, I've definitely decided I miss doing a karaoke show, and I really want a karaoke show back. And this is a spot I would like to do one. I still feel like there's some kind of a relationship beyond just a straight business relationship between the owner of this bar, the guy that's doing the karaoke, but the guy that's doing the karaoke is having a lot of issues. Again, I'm not 100% sure if that's stemming from stuff that the owner of the bar is making him do. There's a lot of things. Let's just say I have a lot of questions, and I could go into details of what they are and probably bore everybody. But the only way I'm going to get the answers to those questions is if I go in and sing some more karaoke. And I just really want to go in and sing some more karaoke. Let's face it. Well, that went in a completely unexpected direction. So it's still Thursday evening, 10:08 p.m. That's like one whole hour of standard karaoke time, and I have not sang anything, not heard or seen anybody else sing anything. But hey, I have plenty of bologna and a whole loaf of bread at home, and I've got it secure where the cats aren't going to rip it apart, because that's been a thing lately. My cats never used to do that kind of crap. And of course, once they learn they can do something, they always will try to do it again. So, yeah, just that's one of those is what it is kind of things. And I just got to make sure that it's in the cupboard and the cupboard is shut. Which reminds me, a while back I vlogged about a whole trip to, I know my life is so exciting, my trip to Ace to get new hardware to put in my cupboard, because the latch, it didn't latch. It would just swing open, which of course made it possible for the cats to just climb in there and go after the bread. Oh, look, there's a Waymo right there on the right. Couldn't see if it had a vehicle in it or a driver in it or not, though. I've got some more stuff to say about Waymo, by the way. Hopefully I'll get to that. So, not that I've had any more Waymo experiences since the last rather crazy one, and I haven't responded to the email because I suck and I've had other things to deal with. But no, just something I saw on YouTube from a local news channel that just had me just laughing so hard, and sparked some rather interesting discussion in the comments section. But I'm trying to focus on what the hell I was just talking about. Oh yeah, baloney and cupboards and stuff. Yeah, I didn't manage to fully get that hardware installed. I've got it kind of half installed. It's sort of functional but awkward. Didn't have good enough tools, like my tool situation. It's not that I don't have decent tools, I just don't have them organized and put away. But yeah, I still need to get myself just another budget Harbor Freight drill. I mean, not only to finish the project with my electric scooter, but also finish my cupboard latch project. But yeah, loaf of bread at home, that's kind of a big deal. You know, and it's not even about the expense of a loaf of bread. You know, that's like usually about $2, give or take, these days. But, you know, as long as I get it at a grocery store. Trying to make grocery store hours mesh with my hours is a little more challenging. And then up until, you know, getting the car back a few days ago, of course the challenge was getting to a grocery store and getting back without the bread getting destroyed. So yeah, having a loaf of bread in the cupboard is like a big deal to me. So other things worth mentioning. So just bought 4 packages of bologna because it was on sale. You know, and sometimes it frustrates me at Fry's the way they mark their sales, because sometimes they have sales that require you buy a certain amount to get the sale price, and sometimes that price for 4 items that is the indicated sale price, if you divide that by 4, that's the price for 1 item. You don't have to buy that quantity to get the sale price, and it's not always very clear. And I think I just bought 4 things of bologna when I could have just bought like 1 or 2 and got that same sale price. But I didn't really realize that until I started ringing it up. And of course I made a mistake ringing it up. Somehow one of them didn't get the sale price applied. And I messed up trying to correct it and ended up having to have an interaction with somebody who came over and helped me with self-checkout. I hate self-checkout with a passion. I really do. I mean, for those that enjoy it, that's fine. You know, let it be an option. But I really am bothered by how many merchants are making it, and you know, Kroger has jumped on this bandwagon as well, making it the only option. I mean, yeah, they have cashiers, but there wasn't a single cashier working when I went in there. And to be fair, with that few items, I probably would have tried the self-checkout anyway. But yeah, I made a mistake, and it ended up being awkward to get past it. And wow, I forgot just how bad this phone goes out of focus when trying to shoot video driving at night. Oh well, I'm just glad I've got something to record with right now, to be honest. And I just realized I have no idea where I'm going for karaoke. Because the other spot I used to go for karaoke on Thursday is Wander Inn, and they, of course, are closed. I mean, they're not closed, they don't have karaoke either. Wow, I'd give that any thought. Where am I going? I don't know. Yeah, I was really looking forward to going to Newtown. Last place I went to karaoke at was 8 Nicks. And actually had more fun at 8 Nicks the last time than I have had there in a long time. Almost did have an issue with some white trash rednecks at the beginning of the show, and then it just sort of, I just kind of, a friend showed up, and before he showed up, I just sat at the opposite end of the bar just to try not to escalate the situation anymore. It sort of dissipated. So yeah, problem solved there. God, I'm almost thinking maybe I should stop and do some Googling. I really don't feel like driving all the freaking way to 8 Nicks. And I'm thinking I could have just gone the other direction to Tempe and gone to 414. As I'm just getting deeper and deeper into downtown. Yeah, maybe now's a good time to just pull over somewhere and do some Googling, contemplate options, and maybe get some gas before I start this back up again. Anyway, about the bologna, about 4 things of bologna. I didn't eat 4 things of bologna. Not a big deal, because I was always throwing bologna in the freezer. And as I threw 3 of the 4 packages of bologna in the freezer just now, I noticed I already had a big-ass package of bologna in the freezer, so I didn't need to buy any goddamn bologna at all. Well, at least it's good to know I ain't running out of bologna anytime soon. So, there's that. Which is nice. Like, if I need to tighten my belt on spending, certainly that's a place I can do it. It's like, I've been thinking to myself, I don't have any food. I actually have an obscene amount of bologna right now. And it's in the freezer, so it's not going bad. I just got to give it a, I just got to remember to, pull it out a day or so ahead of time into the fridge so it can thaw out. So yeah. How exciting is that? I'm big bologna. I was talking about something other than bologna before now, and I can't. Oh, yeah, karaoke. Why am I not at Newtown? Because I pulled in there, and there was no karaoke, and the bartender that was there last week, who was there like the day before, and has always been super friendly to me. I forget his name right now. Actually, I think his name is Zach. I'm like, whoa, no karaoke? And he's like, oh, well, they had technical problems. As I said last week, there were a lot of technical problems. And it was really problematic. And now it's like all technical problems point, there is no karaoke. And I'm really wishing now that I'd made a little bit more effort to contact Michael about it. Because, and as I told Zach, it's like, yeah, I have a really good karaoke system that doesn't have technical problems. It's like ready to go at a moment's notice. And to be fair, I know my microphones are in brain fart. My microphones are in my storage, so they're not accessible right now. But everything else ready to go. My computer's set up in my bedroom. It's ready to go. Or actually, my living room, it's ready to go. Speakers, yeah. I mean, if I'd have had notice, if he'd have called me, of course, if he'd have called me, calling me, that's been problematic lately. Yeah, pipe dreaming. I don't know. I think if we'd have been in touch, he might have been able to get it through. If he'd have been able to get a hold of me through all my phone issues, that's really putting that's a lot these days. But if he had, I think if he'd have contacted me as early as, I don't know, I feel like I went to sleep sometime between 3 and 4 p.m. If he had contacted me before I went to sleep, I could have done what was needed to have done his karaoke tonight. Now, I don't know if the technical problems happened before or after that. I really don't know. But I really do want to touch base with him and be like, hey, you got a lot of technical problems with your current karaoke host and arrangement. If you'd like a better quality karaoke show that doesn't have those technical problems, I'm very interested in hosting here and see where that lands. I was really looking forward to singing Natalie Cole, This Will Be, again. I hadn't heard the song in ages when he sprung that on me at the end of the night last week, and I've been listening to it on and off today at home, and yeah, ready to rock that. And since they use Carafun, I was also looking forward to singing Candle on the Water by Helen Reddy, which I just added to my karaoke library this week. Really looking forward to singing that. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going. I don't know. I'll be back. Share what's going on with Waymo that I find absolutely amusing and funny and yeah, I'm determined to do something fun tonight before I go back home and go to bed and take a nap before I go to the new gig. You know, I was gonna get on Google and look up karaoke shows, and then I remembered something. And yeah, I don't need to get on Google. I don't need to drive any great distance. In fact, I didn't need to drive as far as I did. There is a Thursday karaoke show right in my damn neighborhood. I didn't have to drive as far as freaking 7th Street. I kind of forgot about it, but yeah, Thursdays. My buddy Tim is over at also known as T1000. I have no idea where that came from. He's over at 32nd Street in Thomas at whoa, the Palm Lane traffic light is out. Yeah, I think legally I was obligated to treat that as a 4-way stop, but I didn't even realize that traffic light was there until I went through it because it's so dark without the traffic light lit up. Yeah, that's the third time I've driven through this in the last week. I know I need to be avoiding this stretch of 7th Street. Hey, at least it wasn't a traffic jam right now since it's 10:23-ish at night. I forget if I need to add or subtract a minute or two to this clock. I know it ain't right. I'm just looking at the clock on the Saturn. So yeah, Tim, also known as DJ T1000, is over at, pretty sure he's over at the Hideaway right now, over at 32nd and Thomas. So damn, I drove quite a bit out of my way that I didn't need to while I'm almost out of gas. Although right before I started this video, I did shine a light in the dash, and I'm okay. I'm okay. I can get gas after the bar closes. I definitely need to get gas before I drive all the way out to the new warehouse. And I need to go home before I do that anyway, because I need to definitely put on a pair of pants. I don't think I want to work in shorts there on my first day. I think I want to put on pants instead of shorts. And yeah, the air conditioning in this warehouse is really good, so pants, not a problem. At least it seemed really good yesterday. Brand new warehouse, I mean, it should be. In fact, it's not even a completed warehouse. They're still actually assembling a lot of the conveyors and stuff in it. Most of that racking is empty, and from what I understand, most of what's going to be going on in the next few weeks is going to be us receiving trucks of stuff and stocking those racks. So, I was told that what I would be doing for the next few days is just moving things from the where they are, which is like kind of at one end of the warehouse, over to like the ends of the racks, and staging them for guys that are more experienced and guys that are using the reach trucks to put them up in the racks. So, which is fine. I mean, the easier task they give me for a while to get more comfortable on that forklift, the better. Until I get to the point where there's another Waymo. Until I get to the point where I'm like completely comfortable on the controls, like I was at Amazon with the Jungheimers, then yeah, that's a good thing. And I did mention to him, and I tried, I found myself doing this. I'm like, they don't want to hear this shit. Stop it, Dan. Why can't you shut up? But I did, when they were saying stuff, I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, this is what I did at Amazon for that. And they were probably good. after the first couple of times, I'm sure they got tired of saying it. But boy, it sure took effort on my part to just. But yeah, like it kind of took me back when they're talking about, well, do this so you can get comfortable, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then I said that, you know, what I did to get comfortable at Amazon was I spent the first several days. It feels like it was actually a little over a week. Just stacking and loading empty pallets into a truck, and that was their go train, go learn the controls task for me. Is yeah, you know, not much damage I can do to empty pallets. They're just empty pallets, and he just kind of gave me a funny look, like, yeah, wait a minute, we don't have anything like that here. I'm like, no, I'm just saying the task you're giving me is probably a good one for me to get comfortable on the controls. I said, because that was the main thing that accomplished for me, is it got me comfortable on the controls. And then when the time came where they needed me to unload a truck, I'm like, well, yeah, I think I can do that. And then I did that, and I didn't have any issue. I did just fine unloading the truck. So, whereas like when they first put me on a forklift, had they sent me in to unload a truck, I think it would have been disastrous. So anyway, so nervous and excited all at the same time about this. So I kept saying I'm going to say something about Waymo that I didn't personally experience, but wanted to relate. So there was an article, I forget which local news channel, Channel 10, Channel 15, I don't know. I get them all in my YouTube feed, and I since I'm never watching like broadcast TV anymore these days, I do appreciate just the little news segments of local news being posted on YouTube by the local broadcast news stations, Channel 3, Channel, AZ Family, Channel 10, Channel 15, Channel 12. I do appreciate them posting that stuff, because that's actually kind of been my best way of keeping up on local news since I haven't been listening to KTAR as much. And anyway, they did a short feature showing neighbors in this like HOA, upper middle class suburbia type neighborhood, complaining because Waymos were idling. They use the term idling, and I don't think idling is really the correct term to use, but for lack of a better term, we're idling parallel, on the side of the road, parallel parked in his neighborhood. And they're like two people like, oh, like this. And Waymo had a statement on it. I'll try my best to link that video to this description. If it's not there, come back and look. I'm way behind in doing descriptions right now, but I'm going to try to find the time to do that. But yeah, it was really funny. And there are some people that were with, they're like, yeah, they're commercial vehicles, they shouldn't be able to park in residential neighborhoods. And there were some people also saying, oh yeah, it's the noise, it shouldn't be making that much noise. Yeah, they're electric vehicles, they don't idle. Oh, you can hear the engine running. They're electric vehicles, they don't have engines. So many people talking out of their ass. I have no idea what they're talking about. Now you can hear a lot of what sounds like engine noise, but yeah, that noise isn't coming from a Waymo. Oh wow, it is packed here tonight. I wouldn't expect this. That should be fun, hopefully. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that I didn't recognize the exact location of where this was. Wow, it might be so busy there's nowhere to park. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, I didn't, might not get to sing much. Wow. I can't believe it is this busy here. There's this many cars here. I'm kind of excited about it, but On the same token, it would have been nice to just pull in and park. I'm not looking for this busy, to be honest. I'm not as big on those kind of crowds. I'm gonna have to park down the street. Yeah, so Waymo issued a statement. They didn't have an interview. They had a written statement about it, where they basically said that, yeah, you know, God, I forget exactly what they said, but basically they said, you know, this is public parking and we can park here, and of course, you know, the guys are like, well, why don't they go to a park in a commercial lot? And the reality is, what they're doing is no different than what I would do as a cab driver when I'm between calls. I don't have any calls now. Generally speaking, as a cab driver, I was going to places where people could flag me down, but that's not something somebody can do with Waymo. So I totally understand and get Waymo's position. I feel they're 100% right in saying, look, we're just, in order to have a fast response time when somebody wants one of our vehicles to come pick them up, we need to have them parked and kind of spread out near where people will call them, and which obviously this guy doesn't use their service. The guys that were bitching and complaining about, oh, these cars are parked in our neighborhood. Anyway, the conversations the conversations were pretty good. I'm glad that most people just kind of looked at it as a wow, imagine being that upset about parked cars. But yeah, there's one guy that even was like, oh yeah, you can hear the motors, you can hear it in the background. I'm 90% certain, and I even commented that the noise that you hear in the background of that video, at one point, and I'm glad that this irony wasn't lost. Somebody else commented on the irony of it, but the guy in his giant beige stucco HOA cookie cutter suburban house was complaining about the parked Waymo obstructing his view of the green space. And yeah, there was a little like park green space, but it's not like a really good park. It's just like a tiny bit of green space with some lawn that the Waymo was indeed parallel to parked in front of it. That is a parking area, and you know, where any vehicle other than an 18-wheeler could, or possibly a RV, could legally park. And the noise of the traffic, I could see a cinder block fence at the back end of that. I'd be willing to bet money on the other side of that cinder block fence is a giant ass strode, you know, probably like McClintock or Ray Road or something like that. This definitely looked to be South Tempe. And I would imagine all the traffic noise we're hearing is the sound of the strode on the other side of that fence. Because Waymos are fully electric vehicles. They don't idle. Electric vehicles, for those who don't know, electric vehicles don't idle. They don't have engines. Kind of thought this was common knowledge, but then again, I guess the fact that those are electric vehicles isn't common knowledge, because there were people questioning in the comments like, are these gas vehicles or are they electric vehicles? So I do feel like our local news channel, whoever put that out, kind of I feel they should have put more information out. They should have said, hey, these are electric vehicles and they don't idle. Because they actually, I think the broadcaster used the term idling. And it's not idling, it's sitting there parked. Now granted, the LiDAR and is still on, but that's so the vehicle can see what's around it. But yeah, it's not idling. There's no motor. I mean, yeah, the LiDAR makes a little bit of noise whirring, you know, and there's definitely some fans running. And I do think it keeps the air conditioning going. You know, so as to keep the interior of the vehicle cool for the next passenger. But yeah, it's not idling. Electric vehicles don't idle. It's a motor, you know. It's it just goes when electricity is given to it. It's not an engine. It's a motor. Electric motor, completely different thing. But yeah, it's I don't know. That was really funny to me. Now, I do wonder if enough people complain if the Tempe City Council will try to enact a law prohibiting that. But I think if they do that, they're heading into unintended consequence territory, because, yeah, it's a commercial vehicle, but all sorts of commercial vehicles park on residential streets. I mean, when you call a plumber, his van is parked. And from a legal standpoint, that van being parked there is no different than the Waymo being parked there while it's waiting for a ride. Anyway, I'm going in. I'm gonna sing some karaoke, I think. Thanks for coming with on this bit of journey.